First, congratulations to both of you for being nominated, and I appreciate you being here today. Let me, if I can, ask a couple questions. And first, General Hickey, last year I held a field hearing in Alaska regarding the VA and IG report that was published, and it was published in '09. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I'm not expecting you to be specifically. But in that they had the report basically said the Anchorage office didn't meet the VA requirements in 13 of the 14 regional areas, and they kind of had a shopping list of issues. Now, they've been working through it, but one of the big issues, and I was just intrigued by your conversation here about customer service and some of those elements that you're very familiar with, is the relationship and confidence in the system. Because when you get a strong IG report, obviously, there's a lack of faith that things will get done. And as they start to get done, the question is, how do you get that information out to people so they feel more confident in the system as these changes are being done? First, let me ask you, are you familiar with the report? I'm not expecting you to be, but...
Thank you, Senator Begich, for your question. I have not read the report, but I understand at a very high level the issue.
And do you think when there's reports like this, and I would be interested in your feedback once, and I'm assuming positive confirmation on the report and kind of the status of how to deal with the relationship and getting the confidence level higher with the VA regarding the outcome of the kind of the work they've been doing based on that report? Do you see? Give me some thoughts of how you might address that.
Well, thank you, sir, for the follow-up. I will start by saying it's my understanding that the issues raised in the IG report have been resolved and closed.
Right.
And so my other experience, frankly, from a military perspective, where we did a great number of inspections and reviews through IG assessments and evaluations, is that and I don't know, and I don't understand how necessarily the IG works within VA, but I would assume there were some similar interactions between IGs. But is to ensure, one, that no matter who in the case we're working with in our VBA environment, that there are appropriate standards, and those standards are assessed. And I understand that I do know that the VBA or the VA IG does do periodic assessments through sort of a sampling of the different offices to assess performance. I believe in assessing performance. I have lived in an environment where assessing performance validates that you're on the right track and that you're going the right direction, and that you don't need additional assistance. I don't necessarily think sometimes that finding something in a performance assessment from an IG perspective is a bad thing. It highlights it. It lets us put resources and appropriate training or appropriate adjustments to the process to fix it and resolve it and move forward. And aside from that, I would just simply say communication for me, regardless of the topic, is very vital. Outreach is very vital. And I, if confirmed, am committed to get the word out as often and frequently and 7 times different ways as necessary to communicate.
Very good. Let me go on to another issue. A couple weeks ago, I held a meeting with many of the federal agencies, kind of an interagency group on homelessness, and in the veteran population is growing fairly dramatic, especially in rural areas. And Senator Tester talked about rural Montana. Rural Alaska is even more rural than Montana. We always joke about that, he and I. But tell me, what are your thoughts on how to ensure that the homeless population, the veteran homeless population, that we start addressing some of their needs in areas that are remote to access the VA, Alaska as an example, and how would you see the office or some ideas you might have on how to reach out to the rural communities, especially in getting benefits to the rural homeless that is clearly growing? I mean, there's no question about it in Alaska. We see it.
Well, thank you, Senator Begich, for your question and for your concern for those veterans who are really struggling without a roof over their head and perhaps many other benefits associated with that as well. I will just start my comments by saying that particular issue I know is a significant one to the Secretary and to VA at this point in time, and is frankly one of the issues that drew me to interest to this position is finding a way to meet the needs of our homeless veterans. And so if confirmed, I look forward to exploring with VBA and with the offices in VA who have that charge to tackle that issue on ways in which VBA can assist in providing methods to provide benefits to our homeless veterans. I know that they do that today.
Well, I would, assuming you get confirmed, my time has expired, but I would love to invite you to Alaska and obviously whatever time to kind of visit some of the rural areas so you get kind of that sense of the struggles we have there in trying to meet those services.
Thank you very much, Senator Begich, and I have had the wonderful opportunity in my Air Force career to make 2 great trips to Alaska and spend quite a bit of time up there, one in the dead of winter and one in the glorious all-day sunshine, so I would look forward to visiting with you.
Well, you get extra points for being there in the winter. That is a plus up. And don't let, you have great enthusiasm. I think it's exciting. Don't let the system beat you down, because I think that enthusiasm you have is going to be a huge plus to the VA.
Thank you very much, Senator, and I will work my darndest to not let that happen.
Thank you.